All right, and we are live. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, my fellow YouTubian nation. My name is Chris, and this is my channel, We Love Comics, and I haven't done this in a while. This is Must Have Comics, one of my segues where I talk about some of the comics that come out on Comic Book Wednesday. And as usual, horror breakdown. I don't know how you do it, but you are here always first, so welcome. And then I'm not even going to try and say this person's name, but I'm just going to say PW, welcome, because if I tried to say that, I think my tongue would fall out. White Nova, Craig, Yola, welcome. I see a couple of new faces and some familiar faces. Lewis is here. While I'm waiting for people to come in, because this is kind of a last-minute thing, I haven't done one of these in about 2 months. White Nova says, glad you're back. Thank you. I appreciate that. I want to remind people, if you've never signed up for the cashback program, make sure you do. eBay's not doing the cashback for the collectibles as of now, but that changes all the time. But if you sign up and spend $10 or more, I'm sorry, $25 or more within the first 90 days of signing up, you get a $10 cash back. So it is still worth to do. And also I want to let people know that I'm still selling my comic books. They're just not my entire collection, just my duplicates. So the description for both of those is, well, the information for those is in the description, so check those out. To sign up for the cashback, the link is the first thing you see in the description. And the information for the comic books is all the way near the end, so check that out. So getting that out of the way, I see a bunch of people have showed up, so welcome. Not major amounts to show today, but I also have an update on PGX, which I'll do at the end for people who are interested in that. Those that aren't, you know, that's okay. So let me put on the video camera, otherwise it's going to be very hard to show the comics. Not a lot today, because one of the things I noticed, and I've been warning people about this, and it's starting to come true, every single new Marvel #1 today was $4.99 and $5.99. So if you want to get them, that's perfectly fine. Just because I'm doing something or not doing something doesn't mean you have to follow suit. I don't chastise or criticize people for their choices. I'm just explaining mine. I just, out of the principle of it, I refuse to spend $4.99 or $5.99 for a comic. You have to draw the line, otherwise they'll just keep raising it, and eventually it's going to hit you to the point where it'll affect you. So there's going to be other channels that are out there that will show those books. I will not have them. As a matter of fact, every single comic I'm going to show you today is independents. So I do like to support the independent companies. So the first, well, actually, yeah, all the books I'm showing today, every single one of us is independent. So if anything, it might be something you might not have known about or something that might have slipped under the radar. And if at the very least it's a good story, you know, not everything is about making money. Sometimes it's about reading a good comic. And I've noticed that especially independents, and you can include Image as an independent, they tend to write better stories. I mean, look at Image itself. How many of their comics are becoming TV shows and movies? You know, that should tell you everything you need to know. So it's easy for Marvel to do a Marvel movie with their own characters because, you know, but I mean, to have other companies want to buy something of yours and make it into a TV show, that must mean they believe in it. And, you know, some of them you take the chance on. But the first two I'm just going to show you, no big deal. I have the entire Walking Dead run. Like I said, I haven't done this in about 2 months, so this is 2 months worth of The Walking Dead, issue number 189, which is the first one here, and 190. I love The Walking Dead. I still watch the show. I think it's a great show. The comics are amazing, and I want to have the entire run for as long as I can. But those are for people who like The Walking Dead. This one, it's from Dynamite, which reminds me of a magazine they used to have back in the 70s and 80s. I mean, in the comment section, let me know if you ever had or at least know what Dynamite magazine was. Loved that as a kid. But this is issue number 1. This is called Obey Me. Obviously, I don't have any idea what it's about because I just got home. And who knows? It's one of those things, especially with independents, I like taking the chance on. $3.99 price tag. So, I mean, considering how many companies, when they do #1s, Marvel, they charge $4.99 now. It's good to see that they don't do that. All right, the next one, there's 3 covers. I bought all 3. This is the regular cover. This is by Image. And again, they're really good with their prices, only $3.99 for a number 1, so they're not taking advantage. So this is called Section 0. This is the regular cover, which is okay. I mean, I'm not that much of a great fan of the coloring on this one, but these are the 2 variant covers. Now, obviously, these are not 1 in 10s or anything like that. These are just regular covers, at least as far as I know. This is cover C. I like that one the most. And then on the other side, this is cover B. So normally I don't get the regular cover, but I ended up buying that one anyway. There was only 1 copy in the store. So just in case if it ended up being something good, I would know that that would probably be gone. So they only had 1 of those, of each of these, in the store. So these are probably going to be a low print run. Does that mean it's going to be good? Who knows? But if it is, that means it's going to be harder to get. And you know what will happen to the prices. All right, so this is the last one. There were 3 covers. I only got the 1 because I just like this one the most. This is by Zenoscope. This is my sleeper pick. Just by this cover alone, I think it's going to attract a lot of people. And again, only $3.99 for this. You know, I'm saying that like that's a super sale, but considering how much some companies, Marvel, is raising their prices on number 1s, it's nice to see not everybody's following suit. But this is the variant, one of the variants. There's 3 different covers, but I only picked up this one. This is called Hellchild Blood Money. And that, I love artistry that looks, you know, it's almost like a painting. So this one, to me, I think could be a sleeper pick. Now, since it's Zenoscope, I mean, they don't have many famous comics or anything, but you never know. Something might hit somebody and resonate and becomes a success. If you're buying it when it first comes out, you know, you're not really emptying the bank to get these. But there are 2 other covers, but I like this one the best, and I have a feeling that they might be the ones that people will take off the shelves. And again, of course, because it's not Marvel or DC or even Image, there was only 1 or 2 of these on the shelf. So this is going to be a low print run, so it might be worth taking the chance on. I leave that up to you, but I know many people, other channels, may be focusing more on the Marvel and DC books. These are books you may not have even known were out there, and that's what I like to point out. Because, you know, for every 100 comics, 1 might be a success, so it is a needle in the haystack. But if you find that needle, you're going to be very happy about that. All right, so those are the books. And really quick, I'm going to give some information on the PGX situation because they were waiting for slabs. Obviously, there's a little bit of a delay, but they said in about a month's time, they're going to be back on track and everything. Now, obviously, you know, that's not a guarantee because, you know, it depends on how many people are sending comics and everything. But they are changing the logo a little bit. They showed me a little bit. As a matter of fact, it was something that I actually talked about. I suggested to them. And I made another suggestion last night. I don't know if I'm going to talk about it yet because of the fact that they haven't done it yet. And they just said, yeah, it sounds like a good idea. We might implement it. Just a little kind of cosmetic thing. But I also know that once they get back on track and everything, they are going to be bringing back the ability to put the grader's notes on the back of the slab if you want them for the $5 charge. If they do it, which I think they will, they just had to organize the back and kind of fix the label. Because when they experimented with mine, the label got in the way. So they're going to have to raise that up to leave more space. But when they get that back, they'll be the only company that you can actually have the grader's notes on the back of the slab, which I absolutely love. And I was the one that got them to do it, so I'm very happy about that. So what you think about PGX is up to you. I mean, the fact that they listen to me, I mean, not for nothing, I'm not a 100,000 subscriber channel. I'm a small, minuscule channel. And for a company to actually listen to somebody that is not going to get the millions of, you know, clients or customers, that says a lot. So love them or hate them, they're one of the few companies that actually listens to the people and what they want. So there's a couple of new suggestions that I have actually talked about that they're either considering or they've already done and implemented. So it's a work in progress, but they are listening. And to me, that's what's most important. So I am so looking forward to getting my other comics back. And Horror Breakdown, that's really nice. Anybody that ever does this, he did a $1.99 Super Chat. Thank you very much. If you ever do a Super Chat, if you want to write something, I'll make sure I read it. But anytime anybody does one of those, I want to make sure I acknowledge it right away as soon as I see it. Horror Breakdown says, I find the $5.99 Marvel #1 issues to be untenable. Yeah, I agree. That's why I won't buy them. I mean, it's not the money. Because obviously, most of us, I'm sure, can afford a $6 book. It's the principle. Because if you don't stop, eventually it's going to get to the point where every book's $9.99. I mean, you know, good luck getting like 30 different comics. You'll go bankrupt. So, Brett Hess Art said, I remember Dynamite as a kid. Loved it when they had the kiss in there. Yeah, I remember that too. That was back in the days. So yeah, so who knows if any of these comics will be anything. But like I said, it's not always about, you know, which one's going to make me a lot of money. Sometimes these could be good stories. And one thing I've noticed is independent stories, you know, because they're not as mainstream and they're not trying to ram SJW kind of propaganda down your throat, at least not as much. They're more focused on the stories. And that's what it should be about. Now, obviously, it's a bonus if you find one, if all of a sudden this book becomes a $100 book. I'm not saying it is, but if it did, you're going to be very happy that you spent $3.99 on it. So, to me, it's worth taking the chance on. I love supporting the independents. To me, the higher prices, it's not the money, it's the principle. Sometimes you got to sacrifice what you love for the greater good. And unfortunately, most people only think about their personal needs at that moment, and they don't think about the consequences that come down the line. My thing is, you got to kind of see where the future's headed. And if you know anything about businesses, they're going to give you what you want. So if people complain, but they still spend the money, they don't care because they're making your money. And that's what businesses' ultimate goals are, to make money. So they don't care if you're complaining as long as you're buying. So the best way to make a stand is not to make a video and complain, but lead by example. And if that means, well, you're going to miss out on a comic or two that you might have loved for the greater principle of the long-run benefit, it's called sacrifice. Sometimes we got to do that. And not for nothing, if one of your biggest sacrifices you ever make in the world is that you didn't buy a comic, that's not that bad considering if you research history what some people have had to sacrifice. So think about that and keep that in mind. So, as always, I want to make sure I do a surprise subscriber shout out. Again, don't forget to sign up for the cashback program. If you spend $25 or more after you click that link, you get a $10 cashback bonus. There is no regular cashback right now. That's eBay. Eventually, they'll bring it back. They always do. But in the meantime, at least you'll still be able to take advantage of the $10 cashback. But remember, you have to spend that $25 within the first 90 days. Otherwise, you don't get it. So you might as well take advantage of it. So, you know, if you buy a $25 book and you get the $10 cash back, it's now a $15 book. So you save money. So that's it. Let me do today's surprise subscriber shout out. When I do them live, you do not have to be a subscriber, but I hope I win your subscription. And today we are going to do Jerry P. You are today's surprise subscriber shout out. Thank you as always. If you like these kind of videos, if you'd be so kind to give it a thumbs up, it helps my channel. So if that means something or matters to you, I appreciate that. If you don't, it's quite all right. I just hope you enjoyed the stay and maybe you learned something. So thank you for watching. Don't forget, it's not you, it's not I, it's We Love Comics. I don't know about if they're $5.99, but hey, if you do, that's what it's all about. Peace out, everybody. I'll see you next video. Enjoy the rest of this beautiful day.